Hi everyone, I am Leona and I am the Chief Financial Officer for Roses Love Foundation. I am 29. I am a native here in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm coming to you to talk to you this morning just real quickly on a topic that um, some people may be suffering with or during our COVID stay at home orders and um, not being around family, friends, and just interacting with other people at this time, and that's depression. I've suffered briefly with depression right after I had my youngest son, and some of you may think like, oh well, how is this the same? But for me, I didn't recognize the signs right away of postpartum depression. Um, I'm very resilient, and because I spend a lot of time helping others and taking care of other people, I don't often taking care of other people. I didn't recognize that I myself was suffering. After you have a baby, sometimes hormonally things change and things are off track, and the crying would get to me more, and I just figured that, hey, this is my second child, I'm a little older, maybe I don't have the same patience that I used to have, it's okay. But it had gotten to a point where I recognized that I wanted to put my baby in a corner and walk away because crying was so excessive, the lack of sleep, always wanting to be carried and held, and I didn't have time for myself. And mind you, I'm a mother of two, so I still had an older son that needed help and needed my attention, and I was just frustrated, and I had help, but all of my help came, I feel, at the wrong time. And it's like, how can help come at the wrong time? It's all day being by yourself, being solely involved in the caring process of a newborn. And then when everyone comes home at night, it's the perfect angel. There's no crying, there's no whining, there's no tantrums. He's just quiet and sleeping, and when you try to tell people that you need a break or suggest that you need a break, or maybe that they're around more, they're like, oh well, he seems like he's okay, oh he seems like it's just a happy baby, oh he doesn't give you any problems. But the signs were very small for me, and it was just mainly because I just was so tired all the time, and I was just like, this isn't normal, to want to put your son in a corner and just kind of walk away. But I got to that point of frustration where I did want to just leave him where he was. Also, I'm an emotional eater, so I'm not sure if any of you can relate to this, but I eat my feelings, and so I wasn't working. I was staying at home. I was stressed out. And so for me, comfort was snacking, eating junk, baking. And that's just what I did. I would just eat my feelings. I would make big breakfasts, and right after breakfast, then I would want, something just to snack on until I got ready to do lunch with my son. And it was just kind of like a everyday cycle. It's just every day, every day, every day. And on top of that, I fell into a further depression because I couldn't breastfeed. I didn't have anyone to talk to about these issues, or just kind of to get me out of the house. And so going forward into our stay-at-home orders and dealing with COVID, it kind of pushes me, me back into that state of being alone. You can't go anywhere, you can't see anybody. On the outside, you look like you have it together and you're happy and you look like the same person that they know, but internally you're suffering. You're like, I need to get out, And depression is different for everybody. Depression for me was overeating, mentally exhaustion, physically, I was doing everything normal. I would get up, I would speak to everybody, I would still, go about my daily routine. I would still smile and play with my son and take him to school, but I was unhappy and I didn't know how to express that other than eating my feelings, until one day it just was like, this is not right. I really did want to, the day I realized that I wanted to physically leave my son at the corner of the bed and me go to the other end of the bed and let him cry. And I was like, okay, this isn't right. Something's wrong, Leona. You need some help, and you need to tell somebody you need some help. So I started making steps where I was consciously being more alert of when I needed a break. If his crying was getting too much, we would just go outside and we'd take a walk. He wasn't a car seat baby or a stroller baby. He didn't enjoy those things. He wanted to be held. And that too just made it a little bit more difficult for me when you just want your own space. So I would just walk him and we would just go outside, and eventually he ended up in daycare because I did need that break. I wasn't working, so that made me a little bit depressed too. I'm like, well, bills have to be paid, milk has to be bought, diapers have to be bought, clothes have to be bought, school supplies. It was just like an ongoing thing. It was just a stressor, and stress for me means bad food choices. So I just had to take a step back and look at myself from the outside and say, okay, well, how can I make myself better, so that I'm not being a bad parent. And not a bad parent in the sense that I'm going to harm my children. A bad parent in that if I'm not emotionally, mentally together, I can't be a good parent for my children. And so I just started, just to be noticing the habits. It's like, okay, if I'm feeling stressed, I'm not going to eat this chocolate candy bar, or I'm not going to go and get those bag of chips. I'm going to get out of my room. I don't want to sit around in the dark, because you find yourself doing those things when you're feeling in a state of sunkenness. It's like you don't want to be around people, but you have to be around people. And if you don't have to be around them, you won't be. You won't answer calls. You won't go outside. Not cleaning up just your room. Your house may be spick and span, but your room may be a mess, because it's that extra effort that you don't have the energy to put out. And so I just want to encourage everyone, especially during this time, to take some extra steps. Go outside every day, get a breath of fresh air, pick a time throughout the day. If the sun is high in the sky, let the sun rays beam down on you so you can soak in those vitamin E rays, and go for a brisk power walk. I know that we are social distancing right now and that we're not supposed to be around people, but go for a walk, go for a bike ride, do an at-home workout. Try some new recipes that are something that you normally wouldn't do. Read some books. I want to say video chat a friend, even though that may not be the same for people who need that physical interaction, because some of us feed off social energy. But, video call a friend, social distance with a friend, meet at a park, and each one of you just be in your car, and so that you can physically see them and get out and enjoy each other's company. I do just want to encourage everybody during this time to just stay hopeful. If you start feeling or start recognizing, start seeing some signs of change, not even just within yourself, but with other people that reach out to them, talk to them. Maybe advise them to talk to a therapist. We have a lot of online classes now that you can sign up for. A lot of career specialists are doing free things, via Zoom and group chats and video calls, and just even the over the phone conferences and consultations. They offer those now because a lot of things are happening now where you have to be at home to do them. I had to do a doctor's appointment like over the phone. I was just like, so how do you really know I'm okay? But that's just kind of where we are now in the world. But I do want to encourage everyone that those dark days those clouds that loom over you, that hole that you feel like you're sinking into, there's a way out of it. And every day isn't going to be the same as long as you take that initial step to say, I need to make small changes. I'm recognizing the signs of me falling into that dark space, into that sunken space, into these introverted habits. And I'm going to make the effort to do something different today, and continue to make the effort so that every day that you do something different to bring yourself further and further and further out of that dark space, that you can knock depression across the head and say goodbye. But I did want to speak with you and bring that forth to you, so that I can encourage you, whomever you are, who's ever seeing this video. It's okay to suffer with depression. Don't suffer silently. Reach out to people. Tell somebody you need help. A friend, a family member, a co-worker. It could be someone you meet walking down the street. Talk to somebody. You never know who can help you and who's been where you are, or who can say a prayer for you or send you some positive energy. For me, working out became my saving grace. I had put on a lot of weight because of my depression and eating bad. And when I decided that I no longer wanted to be depressed, I no longer wanted to eat my feelings, I no longer wanted to just be a mom, because as moms, all we do is be a mom. And it's like, I didn't want to be a mom. I needed another form of identity for myself. And working out had became that. I got a personal trainer, and it was more so me dedicating a time slot every day for myself. Doesn't mean that you're neglecting your family or you're neglecting your work. Just finding that moment every day for you makes you significant. You want to put yourself first in some aspect. And it's like, no, this is my time every day. From this time to this time, is my hour. Or this is my 40 minutes. This is my 30 minutes a day that I give myself. And don't let anyone deter you from that schedule. If you say that 30 minutes, block it out of your calendar like you do for work. Those are your 30 minutes. I'll talk to you when I'm done. Or I'll get to that project when my 30 minutes is up. Because it's still going to be there. Those dishes are still going to be there. The laundries are still going to be there. The children are still going to be there. That work assignment is still going to be there. Take the 30 minutes to an hour, whatever the time that you allot yourself. You need it. Your mental health is important. Your spiritual health is important. Your physical health is important. Because if you don't take that time, who's going to do it if you're not here? Depression is a silent killer. Stress causes depression. Love yourself. Take some time out for yourself, and I encourage you. Thank you for watching.